Hello everybody, this is Paul Malone. I am doing a video today on how to add a chart or graph to your forms. We added the charts.js library from EXGJS, the GPL version released or two ago. And with that you can render graphs in your forms. We have a few helpers to do it, and it requires a little bit of JavaScript, but not very much. So I thought I would give you a demo on how to do it. So I've selected one of my projects, and I'm going to go ahead and design one of my lists here. And what we'll see is a list of issues, which are in my instance of JIRA. And now I want to put a chart at the top of this. And specifically, I'm going to do a pie chart that gives me chart by state, just like the JIRA visualization, but this time in a form as it relates to the information that I'm seeing on the page. So to do that, I'm going to go ahead and click my little layout editor, which will show the layout of this form the way it's set up right now. And I am going to add a row at the top by doing an insert row above. And then I'm going to span this row across the width of the page. So now row 1 spans across the top. Lastly, I'm going to put a field in it, which is just a simple HTML field. If I preview it, we'll see new cell there. That's my new HTML field. And if I come back to the layout editor and click this guy, we will see it is right here in my form fields 1.1 HTML new cell. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it from HTML to a pie chart. So these are the two helpers I mentioned before. We have a chart bar and a chart pie. If I click chart pie and I click preview form, we'll actually see pie chart. But as I said, what we did is we hard-coded the settings and values for this pie chart to render with the idea that you can change them using the before render event on this particular field. So in the chart pie, we see we have before render down here. And what I can do is enter a JavaScript business rule. Let's call it alter pie for demo. I'm going to go ahead and copy that text. And what I'm going to do now is go add a business rule down here called that. Now, for help's sake, I'll go ahead and put in anything for now. I'll hit save. For help's sake, I've written a few example snippets that do this. You can see them both down here. But I'm going to go ahead and click the question mark next to the before render. And what that'll do is open up the help context for before render chart pie. And here, this first snippet is just a very basic, let's hard code new values for the chart that's already there. And then the second snippet is one that actually does a query into JIRA and pulls back specific data. So I'm going to copy that and paste that into my business rule. And we're almost done. So basically that snippet that I just copied works against a different JIRA project and a different field, so I know I have to change it. So this command right here, I'm establishing basically the JQL query against JIRA. And in this case, I want to query project IJF. So I'm going to change this. Project equals TR to IJF, so that's going to pull my project. And then for the fields, I don't have this custom field in this project. What I really want is status, which is what the to-do done, the normal status of a JIRA issue. The next line actually goes and gets the data. And then I want to basically count the data and format it for the pie chart. So this little command here is going to rip through the data and count the distinct things in it that I care about. And in this case, the things I care about are not the custom field, but the status. And then for each unique one, I want to count it. So in this case, I'm going ahead and using, just because I'm lazy, I'm using this variable custom field, but it's not display name that I want to count. It's the name. I just happen to know it's the name of the status field. So I'm going to paste that everywhere I see display name. And now what we'll get out of this is a count of my statuses for this pie chart. And then lastly, these two commands, set the data store and actually render it. Then I'm going to want to change my label. So instead of trips by traveler, I'll change my label to issues by status. And then lastly, I'll say OK. And that's it. I will say that in the designer, JavaScript business rules don't load intentionally. So to see this, I'm going to have to save my settings. They're back saved on the server now. And then if I just click Open Form, it should open in a new window with an error. And now I'm going to go look and see what the error is by looking at console. Oh, apple pie for demo is not defined. Ah! Pretty typical. So I named it alter pie, but my before render is actually alter pie for demo. So I say OK, run it again, and there's my pie chart. Issues by status, done, and to do. I think the bar chart is pretty much the same. It's a little more complicated because it deals with the X and Y axes, but it's probably no more complicated than Excel. I hope this video was helpful for you and that you have a good day.